Hello everyone and welcome to the Arlington ISD District Update for this Friday the 13th, 2020. I'm Anita Foster and today we're going to announce the results of the voter approval tax rate election, talk about a new rapid testing program that we'll be participating in soon. We're going to announce dates for our specialized programs and transfers, and we're going to finish up with a look at our brand new Natatorium and Athletic Center. To work through all of these topics, as always, we have our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Marcelo Cavazos, and a new plexiglass cover between us. How are you, Dr. Cavazos?
I'm doing well, Anita, thank you.
It's Friday the 13th in the year 2020, and for some people that might cause pause this year, but not you. You have great news to deliver for us today.
Wednesday night, our Tarrant County elections officials informed us that they had finished counting all the ballots and that our VATRE had passed. And we know that that VATRE is an important source of revenue for our school district so that we can continue to be competitive with our teacher pay and our employee pay. So that certainly is good news.
You talked a lot during the presentations about the VATRE and what it means in particular for teacher salaries. Now, I saw something just recently that showed how much progress the Arlington ISD has made in teacher salaries. Talk a little bit about that and how the VATRE will help.
Our board took a bold step this past summer and gave a 4% raise to employees. And so we know that that brought teacher salaries back to the top 10 in our comparison districts throughout the Metroplex. The VATRE will allow us to continue to do that, to continue to provide increases so that we are competitive, not only in teacher salaries, but salaries across our district.
So one of the questions that I've heard from many staff members is, when does this funding become available to be able to help?
Yeah, so this funding actually becomes available this school year. So once the VATRE has been passed, then the funding begins to flow for the school district to address the things that we talked about.
So it's great news. The VATRE is in the history books, and it's in the approval column for the Arlington ISD. That's fantastic. Now there's another big program that people might have heard about on the news. It's the Rapid Antigen Testing Program, now available to school districts around the state. Has Arlington been offered the opportunity to participate? And if so, what will our role be?
Absolutely. So the Texas Education Agency announced recently that they're providing rapid testing, rapid COVID testing to school districts exclusively to be used for students and staff who are engaged in face-to-face instruction. So we looked at that, we studied that with our health services coordinator, with our health officials, and we are, as a school district, going to order those exams and administer those exams as well.
Now you say there are some caveats that come with these tests. For example, some might think they're a screening tool. You say they're not. Tell us what they are and are not used for.
Fundamentally, these tests are for individuals who have COVID-like symptoms. So if an individual has symptoms, COVID-like symptoms, then they become eligible to be tested. This test is not a screener. We don't do random tests. That's not what it's designed to do. It's certainly not designed to test out of quarantine. So you know, Anita, that when individuals are quarantined, the district gives them a letter and tells them they're quarantined for a period of time because they've become, they were in close contact. And so this test will not test you out of quarantine. So you will continue in that quarantine method. So fundamentally, it is for individuals that have COVID-like symptoms so that the individual, if tested positive, can get the medical attention that they need or advice from one of our nurses. The test takes 15 minutes. We're developing the location. It'll be at a central location for staff and students upon referral. So if an individual has symptoms at school, they'll be referred to this. And this is an optional test. It's not required, but it's something that is accessible to our students and staff.
And there's no charge for this test, right? Now you mentioned that you can't test out of quarantine, and I want to drill down into that a little bit more because if I work on a campus and I've been in close contact with someone who's tested positive, why can't I just go get tested? It'd be a negative test and I come back to work.
We know that the way the virus works is that you can become positive anytime within those 14 days. So a negative test within those days is not really helpful, and it's not something that can gain you access back to a location. Again, it's really designed for individuals who have symptoms so that they can know if they're positive or negative, get the medical attention they need, and then get further advice about the next steps. But that's what it's designed for. Quarantine, when you're quarantined for 14 days, that has to be the time period as we know how this virus works.
Is everyone in the Arlington ISD eligible for the testing?
So it's for students and staff that are in schools. So TEA put that regulation that you have to be taking advantage of face-to-face instruction. And if you're a staff member who's providing that or in the buildings or central staff who's in buildings, then they're eligible.
Okay, now a lot of us have heard about these COVID tests. You know, a lot of stories about the brain tickler. Is that this test or is this something different?
Fortunately, it's not that type of test. It is a nasal test, but it's a shorter swab and it's around the nasal cavity, and it's a 15-minute test. So the individuals will wait and can figure out if they're positive or negative with our assistance. We'll have one testing site. They'll be referred there. Again, it's an optional test. I think it is an opportunity for our students and staff to have that peace of mind and to get medical attention if they test positive.
Okay, and we'll keep everyone up to date on when the tests will be available and where you can go to get your rapid antigen test from the Arlington ISD. All right, let's turn our attention to a couple of exciting campaigns that are launching next week. The first one is the transfer campaign, and that really benefits Arlington ISD staff. Tell us about that.
As a tradition in our school district, individuals can transfer from any school, assuming there's room. And so that window opens November 17th. And so that is prioritized with our employees being at the top of that list, residents, and et cetera. And so this is the time to start planning for next school year. This is for the fall of 21. If you want a transfer to another school, the window opens November 17th to put in your application.
Now, one of the questions that we get is about those priorities. And you mentioned that students of our staff members would have first priority to transfer into Arlington. What about kids that are not zoned, if you will, to an Arlington ISD school? Can
That's
they
correct.
transfer?
Yeah, and so we have a number of students that transfer from other school districts, and those individuals are welcome also. They can apply starting November 17th. We do follow that priority order during that window of transfers, but we encourage everyone who wants to transfer to fill out an application and get it in early.
Well, very good. The transfer window will be open November 17th through December the 1st. You can learn more about transferring students to the Arlington ISD at AISD.net/transfers. And then, very exciting, our specialized programs window is about to open for our elementary and our secondary programs. Tell us what's so unique about these specialized programs.
So November 16th, the window opens for our specialized programs, and these are programs related to STEM, leadership, world languages, early college, high school, health services, and things like that. And so November 16th, the applications open for those specialized programs. So if individuals, families, students are interested in a specialized learning experience, which we know many are, those applications begin to open November 16th, and we encourage you to apply, and again, apply early.
That specialized window will open at 2 o'clock on November the 16th. But from 6 to 8 that evening, there's a Zoom call that you can participate in and meet directly with the principals of those specialized programs. You can learn more and ask your very specific questions. You can also go to our website at AISD.net/specialized programs. And finally today, we have some good news about the opening of the new Natatorium. What's going on over there?
That's right, Anita. I'm happy to report that our new Natatorium is open and students are in the pool every day. We've hosted a few meets and the teams that come over are in awe of the beautiful new venue we have in Arlington. And on Tuesday of this week, the athletic center was used for the first time as the Arlington High School girls beat a team from Fort Worth. I'd like to thank everyone who voted in favor of our 2014 bond. This is one of the last projects from that bond, and it is an impressive one. Not far behind it will be the Center for Visual and Performing Arts. These new facilities mean more opportunities for our students to pursue their passion.
Dr. Cavazos, we're about a week away from Thanksgiving break. We've had a year of challenges, so much uncertainty, never-ending change. When you reflect back on the year, what are you grateful for in spite of all of this?
Anita, I'm grateful for every staff member for carrying the heavy burden of keeping our schools open during a pandemic. I often try to name all the departments, but I tend to leave one out and then I get an email, so I'll just say this. If you cook, clean, cut the grass, or cut the checks, I'm grateful for you. If you coach, counsel, or create curriculum, I'm grateful for you. If you teach, train, transport, I'm grateful for you too. And to everyone who subs, recruits, computes, and leads, you are appreciated as well. To our parents, words are not enough to express my gratitude for your patience, your grace, and adaptability. We know it hasn't been easy, and there are still hard days ahead, but together, we will get through those days too. To our students, you have shown that you are resilient, able to pivot when needed. I'm truly grateful to each one of you for working hard when some systems hardly work. I know your efforts will pay off. Keep working hard. I'm grateful to each one of you. And finally, I'm grateful that this pandemic will not last forever. It might feel like it right now, but we know through history that pandemics do eventually end. Throughout this massive challenge, I have been and will remain grateful that you have been on the team for this moment in history. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
And happy Thanksgiving to you too, Dr. Cavazos. You know, we talk about this each time we do a district update, and we're so thankful to you. You've led with dignity, with a lot of grace, and definitely a lot of patience. That's meant a lot to all of the staff, to our students, I'm sure, to our parents and our community that we have you at the helm. So we wish you a very happy and hopefully restful holiday.
Thank you, Anita. I appreciate that.
And that's it for us today. As a reminder, you can learn about the transfer program at AISD.net/transfer and the specialized programs at AISD.net/specialized programs. Until we meet again after the Thanksgiving break, enjoy your holiday and please stay safe.